The Air India crash probe report is awaited, but Wall Street Journal has now come up with a report on the probe. There's a selective leak. The report says preliminary findings indicate that switches controlling the fuel flow to the jet's two engines were turned off, leading to an apparent loss of thrust shortly after takeoff. However, you must note there's no word from Indian investigators yet, but this also raises the question: who gains from selective leaks of an airtight investigation? My colleague Vishnu Shom has shared these details with us. He has further clarity for us too and joins us live at the moment. Vishnu, take us through the details you can disclose currently.
So I think it's important to note that the Wall Street Journal, an extremely reputed publication, has come out with a report saying that the fuel switches on the Boeing 787 Dreamliner of Air India, which crashed approximately a month back in Ahmedabad shortly after takeoff, were in the off position. Earlier, there was a well-known journal, an aviation journal, another international outlet called the Air Current, which said that the focus of the probe was on the position of the fuel switches. Now, this is selective information which seems to have gotten out of those aware of the investigations or proceedings of the Accident Investigation Board of India, which is conducting this information, and does, without a doubt, take away from the fact that an airtight investigation within a body which is able to hold its information, that's not exactly taken place. Information is coming out. And while that may be great and wonderful for journalists like us who are looking to get every morsel of information from this investigation, it does actually point to the nature of the information coming out, which is selective and takes away from the fact that there may be larger factors at work as well. In a scenario like this, it is perhaps important for the government, the AAIB, that's the accident investigators, or some other agency within the country to actually come out with regular updates. At this stage, there have been no regular updates which have come. This has been an investigation which has been conducted very quietly. Usually the NTSB, that's the American regulator, very frequently has daily updates on where investigations stand. This is no small accident. 260 people lost their lives. Several companies, whether it's Boeing, Air India, General Electric, or the families of hundreds of people who lost their near and dear ones, will be watching for that report. Therefore, it is important for there to have been more clarity. At this stage, we still don't know when that order is going to be released. Is it going to be today, as was earlier suggested, that also unofficially, or is it going to be tomorrow? Will there be a press conference? Will there be no press conference? In this lack of information, we have these selective leaks which are being reported. Now, this isn't to suggest the information is inaccurate. It is just to suggest and to state, quite as somebody closely tracking this, that it is incomplete. The primary thing we need to be looking at is, why did the engines roll back on power? Why was there not enough thrust for the aircraft to pull away? Not necessarily on the position of the fuel switches. Why? Because in the event of an emergency, if there is a twin engine failure, the first thing pilots do is toggle the fuel switch on and off to try and relight the engine. It's part of the Boeing procedure. So perhaps we need to reflect on larger points as well.